Southern Comfort. This is why I hate whiskey. This kind of stuff. Everybody drank Southern Comfort.
There's a couple guys hanging out in the room. Like, we didn't even go out. Like, we were playing cards and just messing around. And I got, I think, most of the way through that bottle. And I'm like, I'm not pitching, because we had Jared Bradford, who is this trusted senior.
Yeah.
When he pitches, like, pretty much a day off for everyone. So we're
Except that day.
So I wake up and I don't feel good. And it's a day game. So it's like a 1 or 2 o'clock game.
Yeah.
And I remember Rooney was like, we're down at breakfast, and Rooney's like 2 people behind me. And I'm like, you know that feeling, like, start getting that taste in your mouth. Like,
the water.
I'm like, I'm going to throw up. Yeah. And I'm like, how do I get away from Rooney? And I fake the call. I'm like, hey, Dad, what's going on? And, like, I pull out of the line, and I go out, and, like, outside the lobby, and I'm throwing up in the bushes. Like, nobody can see it.
And he had a gut feeling that Rooney was going to come talk to him, too.
And so we go through BP, and I play catch, and, like, I just get through playing catch. I'm like, I'll just get through this. You don't have to do anything else. I do a couple sprints, and I'm sitting in the tunnel. Now we're about 15 minutes before game time. And I hear, where's Verdugo? Where's Verdugo? I'm like, oh, no, like, somebody knows. Like, and then they're like, hey, Bradford has a blister. You're starting. And I'm like, oh, man. And I had a pre-workout in my bag, and I just took 2 dry scoops right to the face, and I go throw maybe 15 warm-up pitches because I have to be back in the dugout for a certain time.
Yeah.
And I ended up throwing a complete game, I think 3-hitter.
Are you kidding me?
I gave up 2 runs. One was a solo homer that hit off Johnny Deshaun's glove and went over the fence.
Not salty about that at all.
No. It was a homer.
Yeah,
but like still like.
Yeah, it could have been a CG shutout.
Yeah,
I
still gave up one other.
Oh, you gave one up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I remember too that I was just like, don't try to do too much, just get off the mound. And I had 2 strikeouts that game. And
2?
They're the last 2 hitters of the game.
No. You went 8 innings
like,
with no strikeouts?
Yeah. I finally like sweated everything out. I'm like, okay, now I feel good.
You could have went a couple more innings.
Yeah, that was good.
How many pitches did you throw, do you know?
I don't remember on that one. It was right around 100. I don't think it was much more than that.
Nice.
It was pretty efficient.
CG in college. I've never threw a CG in my whole life. My whole life. Ever. Do you know that?
I've thrown 2.
In your whole life?
Well,
in pro ball too?
7 innings don't count.
Yeah, right. I don't even think. Okay, I threw
like
a CG
high school and JUCO, like.
Oh yeah. No, I'm talking. I meant college and pro ball.
Yeah, I've thrown 2.
2, yeah. If you're not counting 7-inning ones, I threw a few in 7-inning ones in minor league baseball, but yeah. I'm talking 9 innings. Yeah, we'll say 9 innings CGs. Yeah. I'm excited to talk about your second one. We'll get that. Let's go chronologically.
I'm just like, one of those complete games came while you were hungover as hell.
Yeah.
Maybe still drunk too in the beginning.
Yeah.
So then that kind of became like a little thing. Not that I would go as hard as that, but like I would.
He drank.
I would drink. But then when I stopped was when we got to regionals. So I was like, okay, now it's really crunch time. Like, and I stopped pitching as good. I don't know if there's really a correlation, but
there may be a little bit of like effort. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like before you take the mound type thing. Yeah.
Okay, so talk about your second one. Second CG.
I said we were going to go chronologically. His second one is the one in Taiwan that we talked about.
Yeah, you have the thing in the
yeah,
shop.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
We want to create a little suspense. Let's go chronologically.
Build it up.
Okay, I
like the Arkansas one, the Arkansas story.
I'm trying to navigate this show, and Anthony just is taking my job.
I had said it before, and you were trying to jump to the Taiwan one.
Okay, so Arkansas.
So I didn't.
I love this story. This is such a Maneri. This is such a Maneri thing to do.
I don't remember if we won Friday or not. I think we did. Yeah, we did because we ended up winning the series.
Yeah.
And then Saturday we have like a 6 or 8 run lead and we blow it. I don't pitch.
Think about that, a 6 or 8 run lead against. They were good too.
Yeah,
Arkansas.
they were good.
Yeah, they were really good.
So he comes storming into the locker room after. Everybody sit down, and we're like, okay, whatever. He goes around the lock. He doesn't remember it this way. I'm sure there's other people that could kind of corroborate this story. But he just starts laying into every single person.
Oh yeah, he does.
Like Matt Clark, king of the solo home run. Like Matt tied for the nation lead in homers that year. And he's like, Blake Dean, I was a freshman this. Like, where's it now? Like, he's going around to everyone. And he looks at me. I'll leave a few words out. But he's like, Verdugo, you're up. pussy.
I'll leave a few words out.
No, there was other.
There was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot. Coach Maneri was on this show a week ago, so this is hilarious because he was very soft-spoken. He's nice.
He is.
Time out. We probably should have warned y'all that this was going to be PG-13.
I did. I put sorry. I put it in there. I put it in there. This is going to be PG-13.
That's why I left the other ones out.
This is part of Beyond the Box.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But so, and he's, I don't know if you're going to walk everyone or strike everyone out. I can't put you in. And so for like the first time in my life, like I see red and I'm just fuming. And I'm sitting there and like everyone showers and kind of leaves. And if there's a few more people left, more people leave. And I'm like the last person in the locker room. And he's like, do you want to start tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. Like, why do you think I'm still sitting here? He's like, all right, well, I'll let you know in the morning. So it's between me and Austin Ross.
Also just crazy to think about, too. Like,
yeah.
He's going to tell somebody in the morning. Like, that's just wild.
So I'm like the first one to the field, of course. Yeah. And he's like, you want the ball? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, you're starting. And you and Sean are calling your own pitches. Like, we're not calling them anymore. And, like, that's when the whole season kind of turned around for me as they gave me that little bit of freedom. But I was, like, after a while, like, Coach was, like, real, whether he meant it or not. Like, he was hard on me because he expected more. So now me and him have a great relationship. Like, at LSU, I was like, man, what's this guy's deal? Like, why does he hate me?
Yeah.
Like, I've never missed class. Like, I've never missed study hall, like any of this.
Yeah. Workouts, everything.
Yeah,
like you're always in shape. There was nothing, never an issue. Yeah.
But like I think he just saw more in there, and he was trying to push. And him and Rooney saw, I think, the same thing.
Yeah.
So like while I sit here and I'm like, oh, Coach called you a pussy, like he did it out of like a good spot,
yeah.
and like me and him have a great relationship now.
No, I mean, Coach. We always say one of the greatest things about Coach was he knows his players the best, and that's where I think he knew you could take that. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to talk to you a certain way. Rooney came in and vouch for you on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Rooney was a lefty. You're a lefty. He, wanted you to be that guy. And when that opportunity was there, I think Coach just knew he could. That's how he wanted to get the best out of you.
Yeah,
that was
he knew like, hey, I need you to pitch better. Probably wasn't going to work. Like, everyone wants to pitch.
Hey, Ryan,
better,
do you think you could pitch on Sunday?
Hey, would you like to pitch good on Sunday?
Hey, do you think you want to pitch? What?
The
voice?
And the way that y'all go back and forth. Yeah, the voice. Every single person.
Everybody does
like,
the Maneri voice.
Yeah, that played for him does the voice.
It's a very distinct voice when he gets fired up.
Yeah. His face turns red, too.
Yeah.
We should have. We didn't do enough of, calling him out about his, chewing people out when we had him here. We need to get some players on with him and, and embarrass him a little bit in a good way. No, in a good way. Because you heard him. He was like, yeah, everybody likes to, talk about this after I'm done coaching and say these. Remember he said that the other night?
He did say that.
Yeah.
He did say that. Y'all give him a hard time.
I'm not going to, hey, Coach, you went about this the wrong way. No, you did what you did for a reason. And now I really respect it. I'm grateful for it.
And we're a lot older now. We're men. We're men. We were boys back then. We were boys, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Now we're
obviously I could not drink for 2 days when I was 21.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite story with Maneri?
I won't tell this story because it won't do it justice. I think you were there, the Ochinko one.
The what?
When he, after Mardi Gras.
5 beers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
5 beers?
5?
That was one of the all-time, best ones I've ever seen. You'll have to have Sean on to tell that.
Yeah, Sean. We'll have to have Sean and tell that story. But basically, Coach Maneri called him out about how many beers he had. Sean probably had about 14 beers, but he was going around the circle asking, who drank last night? Be honest. And, if you're honest, I won't punish you, And Ochinko, did you drink?
Well, it started because Sean was throwing up on the warning track.
He was like,
he was doing catching drills, throwing up with our catching coach, and then
Cliff Godwin was trying to make him throw up. But.
And that's what started the whole thing because Coach saw that, and he's like, and it was a day after our Mardi Gras break. So
it was the Monday after Mardi Gras on the Sunday. It was everybody was gone all weekend. Yeah. I mean, I was a freshman. I was 18. I didn't drink, so I wasn't part of that.
I think I had the flu. I was just trying to feel better.
Yeah, I honestly was fine, but. We had to run a lot that day.
Yeah.
y'all partied a little bit, huh?
I didn't party.
Not you. Yeah. I know you didn't.
The boys that were 21 partied, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened, yeah. I think guys under 21 partied too, but I was too scared. I was a baby.
Okay, can we talk about his second complete game now?
I guess.
We'll get back to the other stuff, but I feel like
no, it is a really special story, yeah.
I know.
I've told it a bunch because I've had him on my podcast. Yeah. We did a thing at Rally Cap too and told it, so. But we have some stuff in the shop. If you guys come to Cards and Culture in Perkins Row, it's I have my shirt on. It's a collectible shop, but we have a towel from that game Ryan wound up throwing the first perfect game, and to this day, right, the only perfect game.
Still the only one.
In Taiwanese baseball history. What's the name of it? Taiwanese?
Professional baseball.
Professional baseball, yeah. So
CPBL, but it's Chinese professional baseball,
Gotcha.
but it's in Taiwan.
In Taiwan.
Doesn't make sense, but it is what it is.
I know, yeah. But China and Taiwan have an interesting relationship, so. Yeah, that's why I never know what's right, but I know Taiwanese people take pride in.
It was. I did it in Taiwan. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so walk me through your professional career.
And also his perfect game. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine throwing 9 perfect innings and walking off the field because you're not winning? It was a tie game, right? It was 0-0.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll let him tell it, but absolutely crazy to me.
Yeah, I want you to
especially as a pitcher who never pitched. Well, I threw 9 innings once, but
once.
Again, that was the away team, so.
Well, I mean, that was only the second time I ever did it. I got to 8 a few times. But
yeah, that's the same.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So walk you through what? My professional or just that day?
Both.
You started getting drafted. You got drafted in the 9th round by the San Francisco Giants. So
yeah, I got drafted at LSU in the 9th round. Went to the Giants. Got to AA with them. Then I got traded for Melky Cabrera.
I remember that day. We were living together at my house in Baton Rouge. I come home from workouts, and I'm like, I turn on Baseball Network.
And I was actually out golfing with my dad that day.
Yeah. I called him. I was like, did you know you got traded? He's like, yeah, my agent just called, right? Like, yeah. I was like, yeah, it's on the TV. You just got traded for Melky Cabrera. And Melky was a big-time, player at that time,
So I was golfing with my dad, and all of a sudden the GM for the Giants calls me, and I'm like, I haven't gotten in any trouble. Like, what's going on? That's my first place my mind goes.
Yeah, your heart sinks.
And he's like, hey, I got some bad news for you. I'm like, what? He's like, we just traded you to the Royals. Like, thank you for everything. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, this change of scenery. Like, this
good opportunity.
Like, I got traded for a big leaguer. Like, obviously they see something. And then I go to the Royals and was in AAA with them for a few years. I got called up for a little bit. And then I got traded to the Red Sox, actually, when I was in the car with him, where I came home for the All-Star break. And I think we were going up to Marucci to work out, and I get a call, and it's like, hey, Ryan, we just traded you to the Red Sox. You're going to go to AAA Pawtucket. Like, the GM's going to be calling you. And I'm like, I put on mute. I'm like, hey, I just got traded to your team.
Literally, we were working out together. We were living together at my house. We both came home for the All-Star break. I'm with AAA Pawtucket with the Red Sox, and he got traded there to them. How crazy is that? Like, it is crazy, just so you know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And at the time, so not only did my Baton Rouge roommate, best friend, get traded to the Pawtucket Red Sox, Jay Hernandez had gotten called up like the week or two before, and Jay Hernandez was my high school catcher to this day, still one of my best friends in the world. So I had my high school catcher and best friend on that AAA team, and Ryan Verdugo, my college best friend, roommate, best friend.
The odds of that happening are so low.
And Drake lived with us the year before at my house, my friend Drake Britton, and he was on that AAA team. So, like, it was like, it wasn't real life for me at that time. Yeah.
Okay, y'all lived together.
Yeah.
But y'all got some stories there, I know. So pause on the professional journey. We'll come back to your complete game, but are there any PG-13 not rated R stories that y'all can share?
We had some good times at my house.
I believe it.
I bought a house in 2011 when I was drafted in Baton Rouge, and that was kind of my home base, when I was training here at LSU, and I was training for professional baseball, and there was a ton of us there. So Ryan, rented a very favorable rent situation where I just was like, hey, dude, we're friends. You want to live at my house? Like, pay me a few bucks. Like, it was barely anything. So he lived there. Bo Didier was a senior in college, I think, when he was living with us on the LSU baseball team. And then Drake lived with us at one point. My friend Chris Matulis lived with us at one point. Who else?
Mikey did.
Mikey lived with us at one point. I mean,
this is a revolving door.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a 4-bedroom house, and all 4 bedrooms were usually occupied. And we had some good times. It was the house that we would pregame at before we would go out Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. So, again, when you're playing professional baseball, you just got to rest and recover in the off season. So we like to play hard too.
We did a lot. There was a lot of workouts and stuff that happened.
We worked out 4 to 6 hours a day, and then we'd come home to play video.
4 to 6 hours a day.
Yeah, it's your job. That's your job. So we would, eat breakfast and go work out 10 o'clock in the morning, right, ish. We'd go work out for 2 hours, then
relax, and
throw a little bit, run, do some stretching, physical therapy, take care of your body, and then be done by 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, nap up. And most of the nights we wouldn't go out, but 3 nights a week we would probably go out. We were 22, 3, 4, 5 years old, 20, had some money in our pockets and had nothing else to do. So and we were all single at the time, pretty much, on and off relationships because we were in no way, shape, or form to have relationships at that time. But we were just kids. We had a good time. So, yeah, the one story that I told you about that, I had a dog named Champ.
I'm staying out of this one.
I got him in 2011 after we won the national championship.
PG-13.
I'm keeping it PG-13. Okay. I'm going to keep it PG-13. But Champ was a character himself. He had a lot of anxiety, but he was a good character. He was friends with everybody. And when I left for the season, Bo would watch him, or people would come and stay at the house and rent rooms at my house and watch Champ. So he became kind of a part of the group. Yeah, a mascot. He had his own couch at my house that nobody could sit on. Like, he was this 85-pound boxer that looked super intimidating, but he was a big baby, like super scared of his own shadow and everything. But Champ was a puppy for 3 or 4 years, and so, his early years, he would dig through the trash, he would chew things up and do little things. And then there was one day, I do remember, we were sitting making some breakfast, and Champ was outside a little longer than normal, and the door was open. It was a nice day, and we were like, "Where's Champ? What's he doing?" We look outside, and he's in his poop position a little longer than normal.
Oh, no.
And so we're just like, what is he doing? Why is he just sitting like that? I was like, I should probably go check on him. So I guess somebody in the house, maybe the night before or the weekend before, I don't know, maybe had a lady friend over and was practicing safe, sex. And Champ decided to consume a contraceptive, I guess. And when he was outside, he was in his poop position a little longer than normal. And I was like, what's wrong with him? And Champ decided to try to pass a condom. And so I had to go out there and grab a paper towel and pull it out. And extract it from him. But yeah, those were the funny stories of Champ. And what else? You said another one before we went on there,
when
too.
We shaved LSU into the side of his head. Or the side of his body, not his head. That's a little bit more PG. That one's still funny, though.
It was a big week. It was national championship, maybe 2011, when the football team was in the national championship. So I decided to put a little design in Champ. He's a big LSU fan.
You knew how to cut hair. So
I was cutting people's hair. See?
Yeah.
I cut my hair now. I cut my hair. I cut my hair the other day, yesterday.
You used to cut my hair at the house. So
I used to cut Ryan's hair, cut Drake's hair, and so I cut Champ's hair. Are we struggling on the?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
Okay.
We're replenishing
I was just checking.
beers.
Yeah, we're just replenishing beers. That's all. Yeah. So yeah, no, I shaved LSU on the side of Champ, and he was super proud about it. He would walk around, and show that thing off. So that was a good one. What was the other one? You said one other one too. What?
I'm scared.
Are we not allowed to say that one?
I'm really scared of what's going on.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. She looks at me. Katara looks at me and goes, "Should I post this?" Hold off on that one. We'll revisit it.
We're
after.
telling stories. We're beyond the box right now. We're
point
beyond
of
the box.
show. We are
This is
beyond
it.
the box.
Yeah, no. Well, I'll tell that one. It was so back in the day. Nowadays, and again, right, the world has progressed a lot, and so medical marijuana is legal. Back in the day, there was some people that had some prescriptions for it that maybe came over to the house and were visiting. They were in town. It wasn't anybody living at the house. And I guess this person decided to leave some of their medicine outside.
Oh, no.
One of them was a pre-rolled joint. Joints. Champ may or may not have eaten 3 or 4 of them.
Dog. This poor dog.
This guy goes outside. He's like, "Where are my
dog."
joints?" And I was like, what do you mean? I don't know. No one else smoked here except for you. And this guy was like, well, they're not here.
We get drug tested.
Yeah, we get drug tested. No one else smokes here, And he was like, well, they're gone. And Champ's just looking around, just looking a little different than normal.
Bloodshot eyes.
And so I opened up his mouth. Boy, he ate all the joints. Yeah, he ate all the joints. He was burping up joints, for a couple
slept for
days.
like 3 days.
Yeah, he slept for like 3 days, which is weird because you have to heat the marijuana up for it to be psychoactive. I don't know. Maybe in dogs it's different, but Champ, he was a trooper. He saw some things. He had some stories. There were some memories there with Champ. Yeah, he was a character.
Poor dog.
He lived a good life. He had a lot of owners.
He was entertained for sure.
Yeah, he was.
Uh-huh.
He had a good life.
It was a great life.
He had a great
life.
life.
He lived a full life.
He lived a full life. 8.5 years. He lived. He was a great friend. Yeah. He got to see, he made it to U Club when I bought my house out there. He got to live there for 1.5 years, the nice house. So
went to Round Rock with you, right?
He went to Round Rock with me. He traveled when he could, but he was scared of a lot of things. So it was,
like the putter?
Yeah,
the butter?
Well, yeah. Bo figured out he was deathly scared of a putter.
A putter.
Yeah, for golf.
Like a putt-putt golfer.
And
yeah.
so Bo would like just point it at him, and he'd get terrified.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, this dog wouldn't walk on a floor unless it had a rug too. So he literally would just freeze and just start shaking, and I'd have to pick his ass up, 85 pounds, and like carry him to a rug. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Champ was a character. He was awesome though. He was good. Yeah, he was a good boy.
So y'all clearly had a lot of fun living together. With Champ.
We did. We made some memories. It was good. Yeah, built some good friendships. How long we live in that house? Had to have been 4 or 5 years, huh?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. It was when I went to Korea is when we all moved out. Yeah. So 2007. It was probably 2012-ish to 2017. Mm-hmm. 3 or 4 off seasons.
So both of you played overseas.
Yeah,
we did.
Talk about that experience. What that was kind of like.
So I stopped playing in the States in 2015, and then after 2015, and then I started playing internationally in Mexico, and then I did pretty well there, and there was some, I didn't even know there was Taiwanese scouts there, and like a month later, like, hey, we want to offer you a contract. So I went over there in 2018, and yeah, ended up throwing a perfect game there in the last start of the regular season.
Wow.
Which I had to fight to actually get that start, because when you go overseas, they have different things in your contract, like fight money, which is like if you win the game, you get certain money for strikeouts, innings pitched.
Cool.
Yeah, but you only get it if you win the game. And I had a win bonus, so there's incentives in there, and I was 1 win away from a bonus. And they're like, hey, we're going to like sit you to rest you for the playoffs. I'm like, no, I need one more win. Like, let's go. And so I ended up I threw a perfect game. I threw 92 pitches, and like he said, I'm walking off the mound and everyone's cheering, and like the umpire like barely knew anything. He's like, hey, good job. I'm like, all right, thank you, cool. Like, but I haven't done anything yet. Like, it's still 0-0.
Right.
And I walked into the locker room because it's attached right to the dugout, and there's a TV in there, and I'm watching. It's like a 1-2 count, I think. And I'm like, this guy has some pop. Like, he played in the States. I'm like, I'm going to walk back out in case anything happens. And, like, as soon as I step into the dugout, he hits a homer. So it's still to this day, like, the only walk-off, like, no-hitter or perfect game, I think, that they can find, like, in baseball.
Can you imagine? I literally, I mean, as a pitcher, I can't imagine throwing a perfect game, first of all. Then walking off the field and being like, well.
That for what?
Yeah, that was cool. And then not getting any credit for it at that time. Yeah. But then in 5 minutes being like, actually, let's go celebrate.
Yeah. Well, because everyone celebrated, like, as he was rounding the bases, they were, like, celebrating me. Then they celebrated him. Then it was, like, kind of back to me.
Yeah.
But it was
awesome. We got to find the video and maybe, like, add it in here or make a little post about it, like, when we cut this and clip this and everything. But it's a great video. It's absolutely awesome. Yeah.
And you have what is it? The
towel, the commemorative towel, yeah.
Yeah, so they made a few different little commemorative things. They did some T-shirts. They made me, like, a certain, like, hoodie that's still, like, hanging up in my closet in my house. They made
sports cards, too, right?
Yeah, sports cards.
I have a few of those.
Yeah.
Yep.
They made, like, a towel that has the whole box score and everything, and, like, a little image of me throwing.
That's what we have at the shop.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was
I got to
really
get
cool.
it. Now that I think about it, I got to get you to sign I think I got you to sign. Did you sign the cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get them authenticated and
sure
sent to our vault. Yeah, I think so too. I have them. I know where they're at in the shop, so I'm gonna get them authenticated and send them to the shop, to the vault that we have.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite stories ever. Like, and in typical like Verdugo, Ghost of LSU Baseball, like it's the other side of the world, right? So it's like
13 or 14 hours ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So what time was it here?
It was morning time here.
Yeah, morning time here. He's like, in our group chat, we have a 30-person group chat, right? And it's just like, hey guys, I threw a perfect game.
In case anyone cares.
In case anybody cares, I threw a perfect game in Taiwan last night or tonight or whatever. And we're like, congrats, bro. That's really good. What? There's there video? Is that like?
Well, it was hard over there. Like you're so many hours ahead. Like maintaining some like your relationships is really like tough.
Yeah.
You're going to bed. They're just waking up. Vice versa. Like. It's.
I'm assuming this is your sister in here, maybe? Or no? No. This is Mrs. Verdugo, I think. Roll the video of the dance he had to do after the perfect game. Your wife, Mrs. Verdugo.
No, we don't have to roll it.
Wait,
we can leave the dance.
So you got to tell why.
So when like you're in Asia, like they have way different like customs and stuff. So when you get MVP of the game, you have to dance, and they have cheerleaders.
Yeah,
the cheerleaders are out there. There's a mascot. It's
unbelievable. They give you a little luau. What are they?
They give me a lay.
A lay. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's gold.
No, you have to dance.
You have
there's
to.
No. There's like all these other lawyers.
No
Like, there's no
way.
negotiating. Like, hey, I have no rhythm or no moves.
No,
like,
it's like figured out.
yeah, but you have to reverse it. But the cheer coach was like kind of on the other side doing the moves for you. But like, it's still.
See, my strategy in Korea was just pitch bad enough that you didn't have to do any of those dances. He threw a perfect game. Yeah, that's what it was. That's why I pitched bad in Korea. That was the reason. I didn't want to do any of the dances and hang out with the cheerleaders afterwards. That was it.
Yeah, well, and my parents got a front row seat, and my sister, they came out to visit.
Yeah.
And I got MVP while they're there.
Yeah.
And so they're just.
Didn't they call them down to the stands or like from the stands too on the field?
Yeah, when I got it, they got to come on the field, and then they were like, Taiwan was awesome. Yeah. After I threw the perfect game, they flew my parents out for the ceremony and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so,
super cool. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love stories like that.
Yeah, but yeah, I had to dance. It wasn't great.
There's a video.
We don't need to talk about that.
We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it.
We'll put that over the champ.
Emily put it in
section.
Emily's probably got it somewhere, so it's gonna be great. We're gonna find it. It's gonna be great.
You shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Right now. Thanks for throwing me
Yeah, I was gonna say she threw
I'm
you
assuming
under the
this
bus.
is her, right? Emily Gotro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She threw you under the bus.
Different name now.
Yeah, different name now. That's what I was saying.
Okay, so give me some memories from when y'all played pro ball together.
I remember when he got called up. That was really cool.
Oh.
We were all. I think I was in the bullpen that time, and he was starting, and I was in there. I'm like, I don't think I was up that day, so I was like, hey, I've known this guy for a long time. Like, I'm sitting in here and watching this game. And then I also remember your start at Wrigley when you hit the homer, and you had a no-hitter for a while.
I did, yeah.
So I was at a very classy establishment, Twin Peaks, watching it with a few of our other friends. I think Bo
that's
was
right.
there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember everybody telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were all there sitting there watching that. So it's just stuff like that, like because I knew him as a freshman, just to watch and see everything. It's just cool to see when somebody reaches their dreams and does all that. It's because not a lot of people get to do that.
No.
I always joke around like I have 4 days of big league time, like, oh, I got a shot of espresso. But like it's a little embarrassing. I only have 4 days, but at the same time, like, how many people actually get to do that?
Right.
Less than one. I saw it the other day. So Casey, first of all, this is a really cool thing. You should. Any family members listening to this is a great gift for Ryan. So there's a company. There's a whiskey company that. So there's only, and the reason I know this, it's 10,000 plus people have played in the major leagues, because what this whiskey company does is, whatever number you were to make into the major leagues, they number a bottle of whiskey. Like, that's their thing. I forget the name of it or whatever, but somebody bought it for Casey, and so his number is 7,444 or whatever, of 10,000, however many there are. So obviously that 10,000 number will always be changing and stuff, but at the time of that bottle being made, that's how many major leaguers had made it to the major leagues. That's what number that major leaguer was.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
Yeah, there's 10,000 people. Like, think about that. How many people play baseball?
Yeah, well, there's
their whole lives?
I don't remember the exact numbers, but they were talking about if you try to fill a MLB stadium with the amount of people that have made it to the major leagues, it's like not even a third of the way full.
Yeah, it won't even be a third of the way full. So, yeah, it doesn't matter how many days you were there, cup of coffee, shot of espresso, whatever. I say I have a cup of coffee all the time. So,
mine's even less.
It's all right. Shot of espresso is really strong, so that's all that matters. You were there. You did it.
Yeah.
And again, same thing for me. Like, when he got called up, him texting me about that. Obviously, we were both playing at different times. He was with the Royals. I was with the Red Sox. But the joy that you feel for your friends during that moment, just absolutely incredible. So, I mean, and you got to make your start in Seattle, right? Against Seattle.
Yeah,
but he grew up in Seattle, or right outside Seattle, for Mariners fan growing up. Like, super cool stuff.
It was still really cool, but it would have been even better if it was in Seattle.
Yeah.
But they get to face Ichiro. That was cool.
That is cool. Yeah.
I didn't punch him out like you punched out Jeter. But
it is pretty cool that both of us, our childhood
teams. I didn't really think about that right now.
Ichiro was in my starting lineup too. He was batting ninth, with the Yankees, yeah. And again, one of my memories playing with him was like when I did get called up, because he knew he wasn't pitching that day. So the way that it worked for me and getting called up was the Red Sox had won the World Series the year before in 2013. So in 2014, they absolutely shit the bed. They were terrible. They were last place. So they sold everybody off. You remember, they had all these starting pitchers that were great pitchers, big salaries, all that stuff. So John Lackey was pitching on Friday. That was going to be my day that I was pitching in the minor leagues. So, I was AAA pitcher of the year. It was like I was due to be called up, but I just had no room and stuff, right? So they were like, well, if the Red Sox trade John Lackey and the trade goes through, then Ranaudo's going to make his debut on Friday. So I'm in the stands, like, charting, and I'm like, refreshing Twitter every 2 seconds, you know, like barely paying attention to the game. He's in the locker room. Jay's in the locker room. Drake's in the locker room. They're all there kind of like, maybe Drake was in the big league. No, I think he was in AAA at the time. And they're all there waiting. And so the trade goes through and I see it on my phone. So I like gave the chart to somebody else, went down to the locker room and I was like, yo, it's got to happen. Like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then literally my phone rang like within like 5 minutes or whatever. I went outside because I knew I was going to cry and like all that stuff. Yeah. So, but yeah, they were all there, came back in and like, they were all like Bowlesy told everybody and stuff, and everybody went nuts. Because, like, again, I'd been pitching really well, and, like, there was just no room for me to go anywhere. So, like, everybody was like, he deserves, like, you know, and, like, to have 2 of my best friends in the whole world there, like, it was absolutely awesome. So, those are cool memories for me, too. But just literally sharing an apartment in AAA in Providence, 4 dudes in a 2-bedroom
I was living in the
apartment.
kitchen at that point, like, because I didn't know where else. Like,
We had a mattress, right?
Like, hey, do you have an extra room? Like, I'm gonna be living in a hotel. He's like, if you don't mind sleeping in the kitchen, I'm like,
literally,
screw it. Yeah, I'm good.
We had it was a badass apartment, but it was a 2-bedroom. So Drake had a room, I had a room, then Jay and him were out in the living room, and there was a bed out there, and then an air mattress. It was
minor
awesome.
Leagues.
Yeah, minor leagues, just grinding, but. Providence was awesome. So, like, we would go and do stuff in Providence all the time. And, like, there's a badass mall, like, right across the street. We would go hang out and do stuff. Not that you have a ton of off days and everything, but it was awesome.
I was going to say, when did y'all have time to do anything?
Yeah, we didn't really.
About once a month.
Yeah, once a month, literally. And then usually that day was spent traveling. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we've been here for a little minute. I know you said you weren't going to talk as long as Maneri. We're not going to keep you as long as we kept Maneri either. But last thoughts, any other stories you want to share with everybody?
There's got to be more stories.
Oh,
He's still got a full beer. He's got a full beer. We're keeping him for a few more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're keeping him for a few more minutes.
Okay.
We can keep him for a few more. We got to think of some other ones. Now that we're rolling, I forgot about playing in AAA together. There's got to be some AAA stories that.
You guys were up and down.
I know.
I was in the trenches out there.
You should have got called up because you were shoving.
I threw well there.
Remember if we were. You should have got called up in September, and we were talking about how crazy that would have been. You had a .26 ERA
and
or
it was
something
like bouncing back. Somebody would get called up, and I get a call at 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Hey, you're starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, cool. And like I threw well, and I was closing at one point there, and Charlotte when I was really hungover.
Not again.
Ryan threw his phone against the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, tell that story.
We just went out, and
Charlotte's a super fun city, especially for minor league baseball too.
So actually, one of our good friends, Jared Mitchell, was on the other team.
Yeah.
So we all go there, and we're like, all right, we're going out. Like with the Red Sox, like you didn't really pitch back-to-back days. So I had pitched that night. I'm like, oh, I'm good. Like I don't have to really do anything tomorrow.
Right.
So we go out, and I have 1 to 12 too many. And we go back, and like you said, I threw my phone at the wall. Like
him and I are just chilling in the room, hanging out or whatever, and he's just like, "Whatever, man." Boom. I'm like, Ryan, like you broke your phone, didn't you?
No,
or
it didn't break.
It didn't break. Maybe broke something on the wall.
Maybe the wall. But so I wake up the next day, and I'm like, oh man, I'm hurting.
And is it like again? Charlotte is a great city, so you define great cities by the walk to the how close the park is to the stadium too. So you could walk to the stadium. It's like 5-minute walk.
So there's a Starbucks right across the street from the hotel. And they're like, hey, we're waiting for you. I'm like, all right, cool. I just got out of the shower. Give me a minute. So I'm feeling better. But I walk out, and, like, the humidity hits me in the face, and I'm like, oh, no. And I made it across the street. Again, apparently I'm a big throw-up guy.
I was going to say, it pushes
I don't
again?
throw up. It's usually, I guess, the next
day. Yeah, the day after. Yeah.
But, like, outside Starbucks, I'm like, because he's like, you want anything? I'm like, I don't remember if I got anything. I'm like right outside of Starbucks. And then again, again on the walk.
Yeah.
Luckily, BP got canceled that day. I remember that. And I took a nap.
Yeah.
Felt okay. We're winning or we're losing, and then we come back. And I'm closing at that point. So then someone's like, hey, Verdugo, you're getting hot. I'm like, I'd already had my shoes untied. I'm like, oh, no.
And we're in, like, the race to win the league, too. So, like, our coaches kind of want to win, and we're all like, whatever. But
so
why does this keep happening to you?
I don't know. I still remember this. This is the only time I've never been able to tune a heckler out. Because he was nice. He was really nice. He wasn't mean. Like, usually if they're like, hey, you suck.
Yeah.
Cool. Tune it out. This guy's like, well, he started off like, I bet you suck. I'm going to look up your numbers. He's like, actually, you're really good.
He's killing him with kindness.
Like, yeah. He looks up like on Instagram. He's like, you have a really attractive sister. Like, he's saying all this stuff. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I bet your mom's a nice lady. And, like, I'm trying to warm up because I'm going in the game. I'm like, I can't get this guy out of my head. Sure enough, first person I face is Jared. I walk him. And then I think I threw like 35 pitches that day. I get out of it, we win. But I just remember going like this. I'm ready to go to sleep.
He's pale,
Yeah,
like he's
pale,
white, like.
But it was
hilarious. Charlotte was a great city. That was a great city, and they had some really good nightlife, good bars, because minor league cities are a grind. Yeah. So when you have a good city, it's like we're gonna find a way to go out 2 or 3 nights while we're there. Yeah. So
like some of the places, like Hagerstown, Maryland, like you don't want to go there.
I mean,
what was the worst place to play in minor league?
Worst place?
I feel like there's a lot, but like
for me, Savannah, Georgia was one of the worst.
That wasn't good.
Yeah.
Why?
Hagerstown wasn't good either.
No, I don't think I ever played there. I got moved up right before that. But Savannah was like an open locker room where the trainer was in the, and we had a female trainer.
Yeah.
She was in the locker room, like in the bathroom area, where you're like, there's one stall where you.
There may have not been a door.
There was not a door. I'm talking like, I mean, there was one. It was bad. It was grinder. It was.
Yeah.
You probably didn't play
there. It was
there.
disgusting.
Bakersfield was really bad. California.
I don't think
it's
I played
the same
there,
thing.
no. Yeah.
Training tables in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
The drains didn't drain well, so when people took showers, it was just kind of like sitting water. It's the minor leagues isn't
that's
what people
that's
think
what it was. Yeah, the sitting water in the shower was disgusting. You had the shower shoes on. You're like, I'm dirtier now than I was before I stepped in here. Yeah. Dudes are pissing in the shower. It was bad. It was. You're like, dude, not now. Like, go. This is the place that you go use the bathroom. Like, don't piss in the shower. Yeah. Yeah. Bad.
What was the best minor league place y'all went?
Probably Charlotte, Indianapolis was good. Again, there's so many things that like make a city good. It was like
Nashville was really fun.
Nashville
the
was
new
amazing.
Stadium, the old stadium was
yes.
The old stadium was for the running for like
Yeah.
the worst. The bathroom in the dugout was like
I didn't play in the old
Saw.
one. Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah. The new one in Nashville was
really
awesome.
cool.
You could walk. Remember, and you had you were playing there and when I was with Round Rock, and so we got to go out
right
together.
in the outfield.
You lived right in the outfield. Yeah. In Charlotte, literally, so when I played with Charlotte, the stadium like literally behind home plate, my apartment complex was. So I may or may not have done all my work and been done by 5 o'clock and went home and watched some TV and played video games and then got back in the stands and charted. So maybe, I don't know, but Charlotte was great.
Minor league life is so different. I feel like they need like some sort of documentary.
Yeah,
they wouldn't last.
It would be. A lot of guys would lose jobs probably.
It wouldn't be good.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good for anybody probably.
How many rings did you win in the minor leagues?
2.
2?
Yeah, 2. Salem and Pawtucket. Yeah. Pawtucket but 14 I wasn't there with anybody. Either one actually I wasn't there. I had called up both times, so I wasn't there to celebrate with everybody. But 14 I was there for most of the year.
Yeah.
So that was super cool, but yeah, how many did you win?
8.
8? You have 8 rings in the minor leagues?
Well, I got 9 if you include the LSU one. We got no 8. We didn't win that year, but I got 8. When
my God.
We won the AZL. I got called up. We lost in the finals in short season. The next year I got called up to low A, or to high A, we won. The next year was in high A again, we won. Went to the fall league, we won.
Oh my God.
The next year, I could have had more. The next year in double A, we lost in the finals.
Could have had more.
Omaha, we won.
That's right.
And then when I got traded, I was on Omaha, and then we played.
That's right.
So I got both 2 rings for that.
My God.
And then I think that was it.
Hey, you want to hear something funny too, though? Like, it's great to have the rings now, years later, but when you've played all year, that extra month of playing in the playoffs, you're like, I want to go home. I don't want to win. Like, and you're on pitch counts. It's not even real competitive. So you're like, dude, no, we don't want to win. We want to lose, actually. So
it'd have been different if like we were getting paid better, but it's like
you don't get any bonuses.
No.
You're just there extra time. That's it.
And a lot of times, if like you're trying to get called up, it's delaying you getting called up.
Exactly. It's taking money out of your pockets, actually. So you're not getting paid, and you're not getting paid the big league money too. So yeah, it was pretty brutal. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Luckily, I was on some bad minor league teams sometimes, so I got to go home right when the season was over. Had my car packed, like literally be like last out, shower, see you boys next year. I'm out. Like be driving home. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Sucks minor for league. You got 8 rings.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We have some requests in the chat for more champ stories. Do we have any more champ stories?
No.
Not that I can think of.
I know he was just seriously like he was the best dog. I don't know how to put pictures in. People are asking for pictures of him too.
Do you have pictures on your phone?
I do have I have a whole folder of Champ.
Okay, well I can.
We got the painting of Champ.
We do have a painting
of Champ.
Yeah.
Here's a good story for Champ. I mean, I guess it's when he died, but
yeah, it's still a good
story.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. My boys were so good to me, but So Champ, he survived a cancer battle once. It was the scariest thing I've ever. Him and I were running around in the yard one day. I was living at the tables had turned. I was building my house in U Club, so I was waiting to move in there. I was living with my boy Bo Didier, and I was cleaning Bo's house. Like, it was kind of my routine every morning, help him out. I would clean the house, and Champ walked in front of me, and there was never a time that he would walk in front of me and not like stop and like try to get some love. And he just walked and he started. It was really sad. He started wobbling, did his thing, seizured out. Had to scoop him and bring him to the vet, right? Bring him to the vet, emergency surgery. They're like, he's got something wrong with his heart. We got to see if it's that he's got cancer in his heart. We got to see if it's metastasis, whatever. I don't know the right word in terminology.
It's metastasized.
Metastasized, yeah. And so we're going to do a surgery. We're going to call you as soon as the surgery is done. I literally waited up till 2:30 in the morning. I'm laying on the couch like half asleep. They call me. They're like, he's going to make it. We're going to do it. I was like, he's going to live a normal life. I'm like, oh, my God, amazing. Go to the vet the next day, pay the bill. They have no bedside manner at vets either, by the way. Like, hit me for $5,000 that day. Like, literally, no joke. In my head, I called my dad. I'm like, how much should I pay for a dog to, like, have surgery? He's like, I don't know, maybe, like, $5,000 is your limit. Literally, they're like, the total is going to be, like, $4,900. I'm like, oh, my God, of course. But, yeah, let's do it. So I did the surgery. He survives the surgery. Go pay, right? Get him back. He lives 6 months perfectly fine. Everything's great. And then 6 months later, I'm in the new house at U Club. So we moved in. He got about 6 months there. Same thing. The night before, he's running around. We're playing game, like, doing everything. The next day, I open the door, and I can't find him. I'm like, this is not good. He's in the laundry room. He's not doing well. I scoop him, take him to the vet. They're like, same thing. And so I had to put him, like, literally bring him to the vet at 5 p.m., 5:30, put him down. Like, it was, like, that quick. And I was like, so I'm shook, right? But I'm done with baseball now, so I'm doing some stuff with media, with Tommy Talley, actually. I had a flight scheduled to go to New York the next day. So I go do this content for 2 days in New York, right? 2 days. All the boys get together. They knew Champ had passed or whatever. All the boys get together, put some money up. D-Lo, one of the artists that is at Cards and Culture, all the art that we have, right? They get him to paint a huge-ass painting of Champ. And I guess on Sunday we had, like, something at Sean Ochinko's house.
Yeah,
like, they
I
had
don't know if it was a pool thing or
it was like a pool
crawfish
party.
boil or
Yeah,
something
crawfish
like
boil, something. And they're like, bro, it was amazing. And at the same time, I was like, you guys are assholes. They pulled me in front of everybody. There's 30 people there, and they're like, hey, man, we got a surprise for you. And we know Champ was a huge part of your life. He was a huge part of our lives, too, and everybody, all the boys and everything. So we all got together, chipped in some money. D-Lo did a painting in 2 days for you, and they bring out that painting, and I'm like, oh, thank you, guys. Like, this is amazing. And I'm, like, trying to hold it together. I had to bring it into the next room, cried for, like, 20 minutes by myself. Yeah, it was awesome. But, yeah, so I have a badass painting of Champ, and it just shows how he was really a part of the group. Like, I got him right after 09, or that year after we won the championship, called him champion, like, that was his name, like, and all that stuff. So all the boys, everybody, he was a huge part of their lives and everything. And I'm very lucky to have so many good friends that took care of him while I was gone. They would look after him all the time if I went on trips and things like that. And then obviously did what they did when he passed. So memorable thing for me. D-Lo did a great job too. So that was a really cool story too. Yeah.
There was a good Champ story. That was
a good one.
Yeah.
I think all of them are good.
Yeah, I'm not
one
saying.
Was maybe a little inappropriate, but
yeah,
still
a little inappropriate, borderline inappropriate. Yeah, but it's still a good story.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
okay,
so there was a lot of love there.
Y'all, earlier you were talking about y'all's 30-person group chat. Is that like what team, like just LSU Baseball when y'all all played together?
Yeah, and it's probably the reason we joke that he's the GOAT, right? So there was 2 or 3 guys in that group chat from 08 that went to the World Series, really set the tone for the 09 team, right? But in 09, we wound up winning the championship. So Verdugo, Mike Hollander, Ryan Clark, some of those guys, were on the 08 team. Unfortunately, they're a huge part of the 08 team, but weren't part of 09. But that group kind of sticks together, and we have, 30. And then there's been some stragglers that have been added after 09 and stuff like that, but all part of the group, the LSU fraternity, baseball fraternity kind of thing, brotherhood, all that. Yeah.
Okay, but that's cool for viewers to hear that y'all have a group chat.
We haven't done it for a while, but we used to get together right before spring training and go to Rufino's and just Coach Maneri came a couple times, and we'd sit around and we'd be drinking, telling stories, and we haven't done that for a few years, but that used to kind of be a tradition. But yeah, we're still all in a group chat.
All of us have, different lives now with being dads and having jobs and being married, a lot of us, but it's still there. And, whenever there's a big sporting event or something like that, most of us are in there and it's going crazy. Or any relative culture news, pop culture stuff, it's in there. Yeah, so
there's a lot of banter that goes on.
A lot of banter, yeah, good stuff. But for a lot of our 20s, I mean, that was a livelihood. I remember being away for ball. I'm sure you can relate, like rushing back to the locker room to we had 400, 500 messages and catching up on them and stuff. Bus rides, it was fun. Yeah, it was cool.
God, and it still goes.
Still goes. Just again, not
nearly as much.
When I tell you, it would be a 3-hour game and you get back to the locker, it would be 400 messages, because everybody's in there talking.
It's toned down a little bit, people have kids now.
Yeah, it's a lot different. Yeah, it's a lot. But just in general, people have other priorities rather than hanging out with your friends and messaging, and stuff like that. So.
But it still gets rolling every once in a while.
I think that's really cool, though, as we're telling stories about LSU baseball, that viewers or people who are watching this can see that, years and years later, y'all are still all in contact, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's why I think I was such a big fan of the 23 national championship team last year, because they just had a bunch of good dudes on that team. And, I just knew from experience, and even the 08 team that went to Omaha, right, so many lifelong friends. So, as I'm watching these boys make these memories, and as an LSU fan, it was fun and good bragging rights with friends and family and things like that, right? But you're just sitting there and having a little bit of empathy and being like, dude, they don't even know what they're doing right now, and, the relationships that they're building. There were some really special players on that team, so just reunions and things like that. They're going to be in the major leagues for a long time. Dylan Cruz, Paul Skeens, Trey Moore, those names, and then Tommy when he gets to pro ball, all these guys. They're going to be able to come back and be friends for life, and we're probably all going to be, doing reunions and national championship stuff. So those things are really cool for us now, being older and stuff, having recollection. But
you will. I probably won't be invited.
The ghost won't be there, but I'll text you and invite you.
Me and Hollander will be left out of pretty much everything.
I'll text you and invite you.
Thanks,
that's
man.
It. Yeah.
Okay, so I asked him this question on Sunday. You never gave me an answer. So I'll ask it again.
Maybe there is a reason.
Well, I gave you to the end of the show, and you never circled back.
Okay.
A Luke Holman comp.
Oh, shit.
Maybe you have one.
I'm going to let you down here. I'm going to be honest. I haven't watched much LSU baseball.
What?
Well, it's kind of hard.
All right, he's 6'4". He's got good backspin. He throws at the top of the zone, swings and misses, got a good sweeper, breaking ball, slider. Is not crazy overpowering, 91 to 94. Maybe touching. No, he really sits at 92 to 94. You don't see too many 95s or 96s from him, but when I tell you, if he pitches 6 innings, he's getting 20 swings and misses. It's crazy.
He can pitch.
Huh?
I said he can just
pitch.
pitch.
He can pitch, yeah. And that's what I was talking to Terry Rooney about it. Honestly, and especially today, everybody throws so freaking hard. I don't know. Starting pitchers that throw 91 to 94, you just don't see it as much. I'm trying to think of who a good comp would be.
I had to stump him on air again.
Probably
Sorry.
I mean, I haven't seen him pitch, but like I said, but the most impressive person I've seen, no offense, in person, at LSU, was Nola.
Who? Oh.
No. Do you remember watching his bullpen?
Yeah,
I had just gotten called up to the big leagues that year, and he was a freshman, I think, in 2012.
I was in AA, AAA, whatever.
I watched this guy throw a bullpen, and I was like...
Yeah. Him and I were throwing at the field, doing our work for, off-season stuff, and then he was throwing a bullpen, and we were like, we can't do that.
No. He's not fastball in, fastball 6 inches in, fastball away, fastball 6 inches off the plate.
Alan Dunn was playing video
for
games.
A strike, yeah. And he's just kind of Dunn was like, hey, watch this.
Yeah, literally.
He knew it, too.
Yeah.
So if it's that kind, I don't, like I said,
that might be
I'm
a good
bad LSU baseball fan, I guess. But I haven't watched much of the game. I kind of, but just sounds like stuff-wise and kind of command and knowing how to pitch.
Aaron's more this way.
Yeah, he's
more this way.
That's because the game has changed a little bit.
But that would be a good comp. I have seen them comp that, or somebody on Twitter when I put Luke. I always tweet about it, right? Said Luke Holm him. And somebody was like the next Aaron Nola or something like that, and I was like, oh, that is a good comp. So again, not the same
Nola was more horizontal.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. But not crazy overpowering, but got crazy swings and misses and just dominated the games and stuff and controlled the game. Very similar temperament too, so it's very no emotion. He doesn't get super fired up.
You can't tell if he's doing well, if he's getting crushed.
Yeah, that's what I like about Holman too. It's a great Friday night presence. I told you I was the exact opposite. I was screaming at people and celebrating and doing all kinds of crazy shit. But
controlling emotions was not our best.
Wasn't my thing. Yeah.
You too?
I would get pretty fired up.
Yeah, he would. he was in the dugout too a lot, like just being good, bad, you know, all the stuff. But he would talk some shit too. It was, I think also Terry Rooney kind of instilled that in us too. He was that like cocky, like kind of edgy. Yeah, he was edgy. Yeah, he was edgy and like wanted you to be that way.
He's running on 17 NOS, and that guy, he did not sleep.
He talked about that on the show the other day.
That man was wired.
He literally told us, he was like, I used to keep a cooler next to the dugout. I told Bo Lowry to keep it stashed. He was like, make sure nobody touched it and stuff like that. He was like, about 3 NOS. That was about average for me. I'm like, 3? That was before noon. So he was awesome. Having him back is really cool too.
He taught us how to really compete. And it didn't matter like showing emotion and stuff like that. It was like, hey, whatever it takes, like you have to go beat that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So whatever it takes to pull that out of you, I'm cool with it.
I was telling him how, and him and I were talking on the show, and I was telling him how, to this day, how he would challenge us in sprints and in the weight room and be like, Verdugo, how did I beat you here? What's going on? You can't do more than that? What's going on? Why are you not winning the sprint? Like, he would just do that crazy shit.
Yeah, I remember one time I showed up. He's like, why weren't you here earlier? I'm like, Coach, I had class. Like, we have class checkers. Like, literally the whole team will have to run if I do not go to class. He's like, well, this guy's here. I'm like, yeah, he didn't have class. He's like, he's a freshman. Why is he beating you here? I'm like,
Coach, I don't know how else. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll do better next time.
Why shouldn't he pitch you? I'm like, because I'm better than he is. Like, I'm sorry that I had class.
Rooney runs and remember LSD, long, slow distance?
Yeah.
It would be like, he would have charts for us, daily work that each pitcher had to do.
Yeah.
And one of them was LSD, and you'd be like, LSD? And you'd be like, it's long, slow distance. You have 45 minutes minimum. Just go. Just start running. You're like, ugh.
Just 45 minutes of running?
Yeah. He would make us run through the campus. Like,
sorority row and all that
sorority.
stuff.
He would, on Fridays, like, people would be setting up for football games, like tailgates and stuff, and we'd be running through their tailgates and on campus with him leading the pack. Like, he'd be in front.
He was a racehorse.
He was
that
nuts.
man could run.
Yeah. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably about to have a heart attack, but I mean, what? He 8 NOSes deep. He said it on the show. I'm not talking crap. The dude was just a machine. He was awesome. Yeah. So.
I missed that conversation the other day.
Oh yeah, that's right. We kicked her off because we didn't have as many
kick me
mics.
off
Yeah.
the show.
It was a little smaller set, so sorry.
It's fine.
It was just me and Terry. He came over on his golf cart. It was awesome. Like, all purple outfit after they lost the game. It was like, I was like, you're a freaking MVP, dude. Like, this is awesome. Like, I had no expectations that he was going to do that. Just asked him.
I need to go see him. I haven't seen him since Matulis' wedding.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how, like, all of this is so close. Like, coaches came to multiple weddings, engagement parties, all that stuff.
Yeah. It's a family.
Do you think the culture, like, do you think it's still that way now? Like, you guys are incredibly close. Do you think that
I'm sure,
continues?
yeah. It's just not as new. I'm sure that those guys will all still kind of stay connected. We just know each other for a long time, so it's.
Yeah, we got a lot of years on them. That's
yeah.
I think based on what Terry was saying, Jay Johnson's the real deal. Pretty authentic in like what he does and how he does it and stuff like that. And sounds like he's building the program similarly, just like Maneri did.
I've heard nothing but good things. Like I had a buddy, one of my really good friends who caught me in winter ball for a few years. He went to U of A with Jay, and he had nothing but good things to say about him.
Almost knocked us over. But
happens.
Not the Dylan Cruz picture.
Yeah. Oh, and we haven't shouted out St. Rock, so we got to show a little love to St. Rock Vodka and 7-3 Distilling. So while I almost knocked over the bottle, but it is a great bottle. And Bayou Traditions is the collective of LSU and their NIL program. So pretty cool thing, actually, this vodka. I don't know if I've ever told you. I think I might have told you that we were sponsored by them and stuff. But it is a great vodka, first and foremost. It's the only one I drink when I drink. But anytime you buy the bottle or buy the vodka, a portion goes back into the collective for the athletes and stuff. So it's super cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to hold this QR code up because we always get asked where you can buy it. Scan this. You can get it yourself. It's pretty smooth. And I'm not a vodka drinker, but it's pretty good vodka.
Yeah. But you did try it, and you liked it. And we went down to the distillery, and they showed us the process of how they make their bourbon and all their whiskeys. And their gin is absolutely incredible too. Like I don't like gin, but
let's pick Dale up some.
Huh?
Dale's a big gin drinker.
Really?
Oh yeah.
They have a brown one that they age in a bourbon barrel too, and so
good.
Literally you can sip it. Like I can sip it and enjoy the taste of it. And I didn't know this. Gin is actually just vodka with juniper. So it's literally just vodka, but with aged juniper in it. So and then they put one of them. They have a clear one, and then they put They put one in a bourbon barrel and let it sit there for a little while so it gets a little brown. Has a really like a hint of bourbon because I don't like bourbon, but it's like a little hint that takes like the gin flavor away. It's really good. Yeah.
You know, I asked Anthony before the show if he was going to finish that or how much of the cigar he was going to smoke, and he said, "I'm going to finish this thing."
No, it was a pipe.
We're talking. It was weird. I felt I was the only one smoking.
No, I agree, but
it's hard
I called
to
that.
Talk
She's talking shit. She's just talking shit. She likes it. Just running her mouth. How many cigars have you smoked since we've been here?
I wasn't handed a cigar.
Okay, that's what I thought. The answer is 0. The answer is 0.
Next week.
Answer is 0. Okay. I mean, there's one sitting right there that you can light up.
No, I want my own.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I want my own.
All talk.
All talk.
I want my own. I'm not all talk.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
But yeah, Ryan, dude, this is time flew. Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock, and you've been doing some really good stuff in the community, doing some lessons and things like that, graduating from school. So we don't want to keep you late, but
I got a few more days until a new semester starts.
Yeah.
School at 36. It's great.
You're almost done though. But seriously, I commend that. You're doing it all online, which is really hard. So kudos to you and props to you on that. And why don't you tell everybody where you do lessons in case anybody's listening and they're interested?
Yeah. So I've been retired for over a full year now, and I wanted to stay in baseball, especially while I'm doing school, to have some flexibility. So I am doing pitching lessons for pretty much kids of all ages. I have a young kid who's 9 who comes into your shop all the time.
Yep.
And then I have a kid who's like a junior in high school. So all ages, I do pitching lessons over at Fraser Hall Baseball.
Nice. Well, good. And where can they get in contact with you? What's the best way to get in contact with you if they want to do lessons?
You can go through his website. You can Instagram. I have a Facebook. I don't post much on it, but I check it. But you can go through social media. I don't have a Twitter, but anything else.
We'll link it all in there and everything. But
it'd be perfect.
Cool.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being here.
Thank
I
you.
know we got a late start and we kept you for longer than 30 minutes, but
it's okay. We probably still finished faster than Coach Maneri.
We did.
I think we did. Yeah.
No, we did. That live stream was 1 hour and 47 minutes.
Yeah, it was long.
So,
and thank you to everybody in the chat. Shout out Ashley Ranaudo blank. Ashley's
she
in
won
there.
the ball. Did you
she
tell
did.
her?
She lived with us.
She told. Huh?
She lived with us.
She did live with us. That's why she wrote in there. She was like Champy with a heart. She lived with us for a little while.
Yeah.
My sister is a real one. She moved down to Louisiana twice, actually, 2 different times. She lived with us in my first house and my second house. So shout out Ashley if you're still in here. I don't know if you are, but I had some family members in here again. But seriously, Goose Sports, Sharon Menendez, Emily, thank you for being in here. Tara, Abby Rose, all the people that contributed. Appreciate y'all.
My wife's
thank
probably
you guys.
asleep.
She's
chimed
out
in once.
She did her duty.
She did her due
Thanks for throwing me under
diligence.
the bus. And she wrote back a bunch of ha-has. So.
That's it. Yeah, we're gonna find the video.
Oh, yeah, don't doubt us. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back here at Don Juan's next Tuesday after the Louisiana Tech game. But we'll be at Modesto on Sunday, hopefully with the kinks worked out and ready to roll. But we appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all soon.